Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Functional Longevity Podcast. We give you insight how to get fit, feel younger, live better. I'm your host, Chris Porter, best-selling author and owner of Y.E.S Fitness. Let me first thank you for taking time from your busy day to listen to what I have to say. Before we go any further, let me also thank our sponsor, Y.E.S Fitness. Most people lose the ability to enjoy life as they age. At Y.E.S Fitness, we help people age 40 plus get fit so they can live longer and enjoy those extra years doing the things they love to do. Some quick housekeeping here. If you'd like to get a timestamp or a transcript of today's broadcast, head on over to yesfitnessct.com. Right across the top, you see a button for podcasts. Click on it, and it'll give you access to any one of our now 371 episodes. You can also get this broadcast where podcasts can be found. Muscles actually protect your memory in ways that will shock you. Now, if you've been tuning in for a while, you've heard me say many times that exercise is the most powerful tool we have for delaying health deterioration and extending lifespan. The research is clear and consistent. Movement is truly medicine. But now and then a new study comes along that deepens our understanding of why that's true, connecting the dots between physical fitness and longevity in ways that are both fascinating and actionable. So today we're going to talk about one of those studies, a comprehensive review that explores how muscle mass and strength may directly influence brain health and cognitive longevity. This one's going to make you rethink what you know about the mind-body connection. So what is the hidden link between muscle and cognition? Here's the big idea. Researchers led by Outbear et.al. established a narrative review analyzing more than 100 studies of the relationships between skeletal muscle and brain health. Specifically, how low muscle mass, what we call sarcopenia, is linked to cognitive decline and dementia as we age. We've known for a while that people who stay physically active tend to keep their minds sharper longer. But in this review, they dug deeper into the biochemical and physiological connections between muscle and the brain, the kind of inner workings that explain why that happens. And here's the exciting part. Muscle doesn't just move your body. It's actually an endocrine organ releasing specialized signaling molecules called mitokines that communicate directly with our brain. That's right. Your biceps, quads, and glutes are sending chemical messages to your neurons every time you move. Let's talk more about mitokines. These are proteins and peptides released by contracting muscle fibers. They travel through your bloodstream, acting like messengers that influence everything from inflammation to metabolism to, brain function. The mitokines, like cathepsin B, can cross the blood-brain barrier and directly stimulate neurogenesis, the growth of new brain cells. Others have anti-inflammatory effects, reducing chronic low-grade inflammation in both your body and your brain, the kind of inflammation associated with aging and cognitive decline. And then there's BDNF, our brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This is one of the most famous mitokines, and it's crucial for brain health. BDNF promotes mitochondrial biogenesis in neurons, meaning it helps your brain cells produce more energy and resist oxidative stress. So when you train, when you push, pull, squat, or sprint, you're not just strengthening muscle fibers. You're literally sending chemical messages to your brain that say, grow, repair, stay young. That's the magic of movement. Now let's flip this around. What happens when you don't move? According to the review, physical activity sets off what researchers call a negative spiral, a kind of downward feedback loop. And here's how that works. When your muscle activity decreases, mitochondrial secretion drops. Less mitochondrial signaling means less communication between the muscles and the brains. This leads to higher inflammation, worse insulin sensitivity, and mitochondrial dysfunction. Over time, that combination contributes to both muscle loss and cognitive decline. So inactivity doesn't just mean you lose muscle tone, it actually disrupts the body's internal communication network. The researchers propose that this mitochondrial disruption might be one of the core biological mechanisms linking sarcopenia with dementia. That's a big deal. It means losing muscle as you age isn't just a physical problem, it's a neurological one too. To understand this more deeply, the review outlined 4 key mechanisms that seem to connect muscle loss and cognitive decline. The first one is systemic inflammation. Chronic inflammation damages both muscle tissues and brain cells, contributing to conditions like Alzheimer's and vascular dementia. Number 2, insulin resistance. Poor metabolic health doesn't just increase diabetes risk, it also impairs brain energy metabolism since your brain relies heavily on glucose. Abnormal protein accumulation. Just like in muscle wasting, the buildup of misfolded proteins in the brain, such as amyloid and tau, disrupt normal cell function. We have 4, mitochondrial dysfunction, which damaged mitochondria reduces energy production in both muscles and brain, accelerating fatigue, weakness, and cognitive decline. Here's the kicker. These aren't separate problems. They're interconnected pathways, overlapping systems that feed into each other. When one starts to break down, the other often follows. And that's where muscle and exercise come in as the master regulator. So what does this mean for you and me? People think exercise is just to lose weight. But exercise isn't just an extra boost to your health. It's the master switch that keeps your body's internal communication systems working properly. Think of it like this. When you move your muscles, you activate mitochondrial release, which support brain function and reduces inflammation. Improve insulin sensitivity, keeps blood sugar stable, and protects your brain from metabolic stress. Enhance mitochondrial health, ensuring your cells produce clear energy efficiently. Triggers neurogenesis, helping maintain memory, focus, and learning ability. But when you stop moving, when you sit too long, skip workouts, or let your muscles decline, all of those processes start to falter. The inactivity isn't natural. It's actively harmful. That's what Adibir and his team are emphasizing. Exercise doesn't just add benefits. Inactivity moves the baseline of your health you could be maintaining. Now, we got decades of data showing people with higher muscle mass and strength tend to perform better on cognitive tests and are less likely to develop dementia. But correlation isn't causation, right? That's why this review is so interesting. The authors pulled together enough evidence to suggest a causal link, meaning muscle loss might cause cognitive decline, not just occur alongside it. And here's how they built their case for this. Epidemiological data shows that strong, consistent, dose-dependent associations between low muscle mass and poor cognition. Mechanistic studies explain how that relationship could occur, primarily through mitochondrial signaling in the 4 interconnected physiological pathways. It's a convergence of these 2 evidence streams, population data and biological mechanisms, that make the argument so compelling. The review also acknowledges that the reverse could be true in some cases, that dementia might lead to sarcopenia by impaired motor neuron function. But The weight of the evidence supports the idea that muscle health is a driver, not just a passenger in the aging process. So what's the takeaway here? Research strengthens a key principle we talk about often on this podcast. Your muscles are your longevity organ. They're not just for looking good or lifting weights or losing weight. They regulate hormones, manage inflammation, control metabolism, and now, as we're learning, they play a direct role in maintaining brain function. That's why resistance training and regular exercise or physical activity are non-negotiable as we age. Every time you train, whether it's lifting weights, doing body weight exercises, or even going for a brisk walk, you're sending protective signals throughout your body. You're telling your brain, I'm still here, keep me sharp. So how can we apply this new understanding to your daily life? Well, here are some actionable steps to protect both your muscles and your mind. Strength training, depending on your age, 2 to 3 times a week. Focus on full body movements, squats, presses, rows, carries. Muscle contraction is what triggers mitochondrial release. If you haven't exercised in a long time, maybe you've never lifted weights, give us a call. That's what we do on a daily basis for over 27 years. Include aerobic conditioning. Cardio supports mitochondrial health and improves blood flow to the brain. Interval training is especially effective. Again, if you haven't done cardio in a long time, no, you don't need to go out and run. Let's say you have some orthopedic issues, contraindications to exercise, shoulders, knees, back, whatever it may be. We here at Y.E.S Fitness are experts at helping people do aerobic conditioning and anaerobic conditioning, interval training effectively, safe and effectively. Number 3, you want to prioritize protein. Adequate protein supports muscle repair and growth. Aim for around 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight if you're training regularly. Sleep deeply and consistently. Recovery time is when your muscles and your brain perform their best repair work. Don't skip it. You get in shape when you're not working out, when you're recovering. And stay mentally active. Exercise your mind the same way you exercise your body. Learn new skills, socialize, stay curious. Remember, longevity isn't just about adding years to your life. It's about adding life to years. So here's what I love about this review. It validates something we see every day at Y.E.S Fitness. I even wrote a best-selling book about this, strength training. When people start strength training consistently, when they rebuild muscle and move regularly, they don't just feel stronger, they think clearer. They have better focus, more energy, and more confidence. It's not a coincidence. It's your physiology in action. Your brain and muscles are a constant conservation, and exercise is the language that keeps that dial in conversation. And that's exercise, pardon me. Your brains and muscles are in constant conversation. Oh, I can't get that out here. And exercise is the language that keeps that dialogue alive. So whether you're in your 40s, 50s, 70s, or beyond, it's never too late to start building the muscle that protects your mind. So my closing thoughts here. So there you have it. Another reason exercise remains the most potent anti-aging drug we have to access. The science is clear. Skeletal muscle and a metabolic and cognitive powerhouse. That's what it is. And keep it strong might be one of the best things you can do for your brain. And while researchers are still exploring all the pathways involved, the practical advice doesn't change. Move often, lift regularly, stay consistent. Because longevity isn't about luck. It's about lifestyle. Thanks for tuning in to the Functional Longevity Podcast. I'm Chris Porter, reminding you that keep moving, keep learning, and keep living stronger for longer. If you found today's episode valuable, share it with a friend who could use a little extra motivation to hit the gym or maybe protect their brain. Until next time, when I'm going to give you more information on how to get fit, feel younger, live better, have yourselves a great